It's time for Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds.
What's up, everybody? It's your queen, Mahogany Reynolds, Miss Just Be You, the one and the only. Welcome to another special episode of my show, Just Be You After Dark, with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds. We are celebrating someone very special, Dad. Daddies, papas, poppies, padres, okay? We are celebrating Father's Day. Yes, honey, because fathers to me are amazing. Hence the reason why, in tribute of Father's Day, I am wearing the color blue. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, boys don't always have to wear blue, but honey, we're going to roll with that today, okay? So happy Father's Day to all of the amazing, wonderful, strong, dedicated, committed, hardworking, loving, passionate, just present fathers, okay? Happy Father's Day to you. I appreciate the things that you're doing for your children, because the next generation, they're going to lead us further in the future. So we need our daddies. The girls need their daddy's love. The boys need their daddy's love too, honey. So happy Father's Day to you. So let me tell you, on this episode of Just Be You After Dark, we are going to have some special guests. Two of my close friends in stand-up comedy. Because you know what? We need some laughter. Because I'm telling you something right now. This inflation is not funny at all. They need to just cut it out. I went to the store the other day to get some basic groceries, right? And I've been buying this orange juice, this particular brand of orange juice, for about 6 years, a very long time. And I'm noticing, why is this bottle so light? This isn't the same like weight that the bottle was in the past. So I'm looking and I'm like, I wonder if something changed. Now the price went up and the bottle went down. Okay, the price went up and the size of the bottle went down. So most of you know that I am a mama bear, right? And so I have now a teenager. When I first started Just Be You After Dark in 2020, he was still like, coming out of that childhood age, and now he is a teenager all the way, child. And he can drink through a bottle of orange juice in like 2 hours. So I'm constantly going back and forth buying orange juice. I need to just go ahead and grow me some oranges in the backyard. Okay, thank you very much. I mean, I don't know what else to do. But this orange juice, I'm paying more money and I'm getting less, and it's shrinkflation all over the place. And I'm like, you know what? We need an episode of Just Be You After Dark, because this is where you come to be inspired, entertained, and enlightened about the possibilities of who you are. So yes, Just Be You After Dark is for you. And I'm excited about my guest, one of which is a father. His name is Andrew Barrow. Andrew is from Maryland. And he has been a guest on Just Be You After Dark many, many times. He is just so wonderful and so funny. And he is a father, and he's going to share with you some of his, ups and downs and highs and lows and funny things about being a dad. And also with us tonight is Dr. Max. Dr. Max is a wonderful stand-up comedian out of New York. She, again, has been on the show many times, and she is hilarious. And she's going to actually be co-hosting and helping me out with some questions that we're going to ask Andrew. Because, honey, we want all of the information about what it's like to be a daddy nowadays and what these kids be doing to drive him crazy, how he deal with that, and any advice that he wants to share. But most importantly, we are celebrating daddies. All right. And we are celebrating Father's Day, because I know Mother's Day gets a lot of attention. And sometimes Daddy's Day, it's kind of like, oh, let me get my daddy a t-shirt. I'm going to go to the store and buy them a t-shirt and get them a car, and that's pretty much the end of it. But we want to show our daddies way more love than that, especially the daddies who are present in the home holding it down. Okay, we want to show them lots of love. So without further delay, I want to introduce my first guest, and she's also going to be helping me co-host this episode of Just Be You After Dark, the Father's Day episode. Dr. Max. Dr. Max, join us in the Just Be You virtual lounge. We can't wait to see your beautiful face and talk with you about fatherhood as we celebrate dads. Dr. Max, what's up, girl?
Hey, how are you, Mahogany? It's good to be here.
I am living in color and having a blast and so blessed and highly favored to be here. I have no complaints except about this shrinkflation. But other than that, I'm good. How are you?
Oh my God, I've lost 7 pounds since this shrinkflation. I keep losing weight.
You can't, you know what? During the pandemic, it got real popular to bake. Remember, everybody was baking everything. You know, there was baking biscuits and baking pies and baking cornbread and peach cobbler and all kind of stuff. I mean, me included, right? And now,
Right.
do you know how much it costs to buy a bag of flour? I'm like, okay, so let me add this up. So if I'm going to try to bake 2 loaves of bread, and I might need 1 or 2 bags of flour, and then I got to get all of these other ingredients. I said, girl, just go ahead and get that loaf of bread right over there and call it a day.
No, go to the dollar store. They make it in China. It's half the price.
Oh, Lord. You know what? All of my fans and followers in China, we love you. She just cracking jokes. Please don't take it personally. You know, we got to lighten up. I mean, I've heard some stuff about what's been going on still in the stand-up comedy industry where people are just getting, you know, isolated and, you know, just called out for just telling jokes, but they're stand-up comedians, so I'm a little confused. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Like, I'm a talk show host, right? So what am I supposed to do? Not talk? I'm confused. So basically, when you're watching Just Be You After Dark, lay back, relax, don't take everything so seriously because we're here to lighten it up, right? It's just so much heaviness going on right now. I mean, I could be here all night long talking about low topics. You know how some shows have hot topics? I could be here all night long talking about low topics. But what we're going to do, we're going to talk about positive topics, okay? I don't do hot topics on my show because I quite frankly don't have time to be chasing after what somebody else is doing and then coming back and reporting it to you about somebody else's life. I'm living my life and I'm in my lane and I'm not worried about anybody else. So if that's what you hear for, wrong show. Okay. Now the other part about it is I'm not gonna sit up here and talk about a bunch of sad, dramatic, low topic stuff either, because again, I'm living my best life right now. So I am not interested in doing a show where I'm going to be constantly talking about all the negativity in the world and regurgitate all of the gossip and all of that stuff. If that's what you're into, that's you. But that's not what Just Be You After Dark is all about. Just Be You After Dark with Mahogany Reynolds is a place to be inspired, to be entertained, and to believe in the possibilities of who you are. Okay? Thank you very much. So, Dr. Max, girl, that red is saying something. You like Dorothy.
Oh boy. So you introduced me as Max Sheppard, right? And I bet you expected to see a boy or a man or a German Shepherd. You know, what happens is Jewish people name their children after people who passed in their lives, you know. And so I said to my mom, "Why? Why did you name me Max? Who passed?" And she said, "Well, you know, we had this dog we loved so much, and so we named you after our dog Max." I said, "Great." So growing up, instead of pennies, they threw bones at me. You know, sometimes I got treats. You know. You never know. I mean, they hurt just the same. And when I got older, there was a commercial that Alpo put out, and it had a dog in it. And said, "Maybe Max has been around so long because Alpo has been around so long." My sister would say this all the time, and it really pissed me off. So I peed on her leg. And every time somebody passed me and they would say the B word, I knew they were talking about me. But you know what? I'm not really like a dog. I mean, I only howl twice a month, once at the full moon and the other one after great sex. I have to tell you, Mahogany was talking about COVID, and COVID actually wasn't so bad for me. I mean, CVS gave me the greatest, receipts. I didn't have to buy toilet paper, and I now have 100 proof. I now can drink 100 proof sanitizer. And people got very, very depressed during COVID. It's true. I mean, they were going out, they were buying, they were getting rescue dogs. And you couldn't get a rescue dog because everybody took them out. And these were dogs that they turned into emotional support animals. Now, these are dogs that have been traumatized, abandoned, and have all kinds of issues, and they turn them into emotional support animals. Can you imagine? I mean, that's like filling the void in your life with a crack baby. I mean, it's rough. I mean, I personally could never get an emotional support animal because I'm an emotional eater and I just might eat that animal. I'll give you an example. When I was flying to the Ukraine, they put this goat next to me. And all I could think of is if this plane goes down and I survive, I want emotional support gyros when I get down there. Yeah. So, COVID also was really good to the deer. People were bored, so they went out and they fed the deer in New Jersey. These were Guido deer. I mean, these deers were eating spaghetti and meatballs, rigatoni, and they were getting fatter and fatter. Their necks didn't work. They were going into the highways thinking that they were food trucks, the cars coming by. And I mean, these deer, so arrogant. They're going up to the doors. They're bringing the raccoons. They're bringing all their family now. They have no fear. But you know what's interesting about the deer is they carry 40% carry ticks and 40% carry COVID. They also carry ticks. They carry rabies. I mean, how could something so cute carry so many diseases? It's like strippers. I mean, a lot of strippers are named Bambi too. So I have to say that I also had a COVID boyfriend. It was very short-lived. Okay, it was, thank God. But we had this point system. Instead of taking me out to dinner, he'd color my hair. Instead of buying me things or whatever, he'd shave and wax me. So we had these point systems. And one of the things he did for me is that he put a clock on the ceiling, because I'm not used to sleeping next to someone. And what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Come on, dads. You say, what's the weather and what time is it? So this had a hydrometer. It had it told me what the weather was. And the other thing it told me is how long he lasted in bed. So I also can tell you that my 75-year-old mother, she's very special. She has macular degeneration and she has cataracts in the other eye. But that doesn't stop her from being an Uber driver or a tattoo artist. And when I go to her senior home, I know who she's worked on, because they're the ones with the tattoo straight across their forehead and all the way down their arms. Yeah. When I was young, my friends were 10 years older than me, and it was super cool. I mean, they drive me around, they get me drugs, they take me to clubs. Now, at my age, at 56, the only clubs I'm getting into is AARP. The only drugs I'm getting is Lipitor. And I'm driving them around because they've got cataracts. It's funny. I'm getting older, and I don't feel it, but people come up to me and they're like, the church volunteer kids are saying to me, we had these senior activities go on. And I'm looking at them like, really? But I do know, when CVS calls you more than your family and your friends, that tells you something. right? I know that I can burp, cough, and fart all at the same time. You know, um, I just wanted to end with my mom. She watches a lot of YouTube, a little too much YouTube, actually. I go in and visit her, and I see she's got mayonnaise on her hair and olive oil on her face. So I don't know whether to kiss her or throw croutons at her. I she's gotten used to like hitting things, like how you tap things to turn on the light, tap your phone. Well, she's a hitter. She hits her phone to turn on. She hits her light. She hits the radio. And when she comes to me, she tries to hit me. And I'm like, oh, I get turned on. So I guess it's better than the guilt. That's it. That's all I have for you tonight. Thank you. I'm Max Sheppard.
Awesome. Dr. Max, leave your mama alone. You know I'm always gonna protect the mamas and the daddy. Don't be messing with your mama. Let her hit, and she need to hit you. You probably because you acting up. Oh my goodness. All right, listen, everybody. So next up, we are going to have a wonderful conversation with one of my closest stand-up comedian friends, Andrew Barrow. Andrew, I met him way back in, oh man, good. I think it was like 2016 or something like that. It was a long time ago, right? Don't that seem like the 70s or something? 2016 seemed like such a long time ago. But I met him a long time ago. And I have watched him evolve and grow and change as a stand-up comedian. And I just love his vibe and his energy. So we're gonna talk to Andrew. He's gonna do a little comedy for us, and we're gonna get an inside scoop from his perspective about what it's like being a dad nowadays and some of his ups and downs. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in to this episode of Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds. If you want to follow the show, we're going to be launching our new YouTube channel, and it's going to be Just Be You After Dark. And right now, you can find us on our other platform, which is Facebook. So if you type in Just Be You After Dark, you'll see this picture of me behind me, and I would love for you to follow the show. I also have a Just Be You After Dark lounge, and that's for grown and fabulous, and we have conversations, and we just keep the conversation going. So without further delay, after the break, I'm going to introduce Andrew Barrow. But in the meantime, I have a little clip from one of my previous episodes of Just Be You After Dark, and I want you to sit back and enjoy that. And I thank you and I appreciate you for being here.
Sometimes I feel so all alone, like there's nothing and no one to call my own. Just like an empty space, I'm longing to be filled by that someone's gonna be for real. Someone who'll be there, and someone who really cares. And I just wanna know, hey, how it feels to be loved. And I just wanna know, yeah, how it feels to be loved. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. Sometimes I sit and think about, why did I have to always be the one left without? What am I to do when I hear a love song? Just to turn and realize nobody else is home. Whoa. No one to turn to late at night, and no one to hold me tight. And I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know. No one to talk to, nowhere to turn. Seems like no one's listening and no one's concerned. No one to put a smile upon my face. No one to ask me how was my day. And I just wanna know, oh, I just need to know, I gotta know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know, oh yeah, how it feels to be loved. I just wanna know, I gotta know, I need to know. I just wanna know. I just wanna know, oh yeah, how it feels to be loved. Oh, sometimes it hurts so bad inside. I just wanna know. All I can say is why,
Hey everybody, welcome back to Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds. We are celebrating dads. This is our Father's Day special episode, and I wanted to take some time to celebrate dads because they are so amazing and so wonderful. And I'm just looking at everybody that's here joining me, and I'm just really appreciative of you. So we're going to have a really good time and a wonderful conversation with some of my funny comedian friends. Now, next up, we're going to have a conversation with my homeboy, Andrew Barrow. Andrew is from Maryland, and he is a stand-up comedian, and I just love his vibe. I love his energy, and I love how he holds it down, honey. He is a dad, and he's going to tell us some of his ups and downs and highs and lows about being a dad, and maybe even give a little bit of advice to some of you fathers out there from another father. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Take advice about parenting from somebody that's not a parent. I mean, I kind of don't understand that. Sure, you might have a little perspective and a little insight. However, some of the best advice, and in my opinion, the best advice that you can get about being a parent comes from other parents because we know firsthand, woo, that thing is hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, but it's so rewarding. And we just love our kids and we want the best for them. So I want to say thank you. I appreciate you to all of the dads that are watching Just Be You After Dark tonight. I appreciate you, or whether you're watching it in the morning, it don't matter. No matter where you are in the world, if you are a devoted dad and you're doing the best you can, I say thank you and happy Father's Day. So without further delay, allow me to welcome into the Just Be You After Dark lounge my special guest, Andrew Barrow. Andrew, come into the lounge. What's
Hello.
up, Andrew? Did you just come back from
What's
a
going
bubble
on?
bath?
It's been a week. That's just what it is, and it's going to lounge.
I mean, it's
That's
been a
what it
week
is.
since you
I'm
took a
home.
bubble bath, or it's been a week, like a work week.
No,
Because what's like,
no.
hold on
It's been
now.
a week. It's been a week. Like it's been a week. No,
Oh,
I don't take baths like that. I don't really like baths. I'm more of a shower. I want to get it done. I want to get it done now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I
You
don't
ain't
know.
nothing wrong
No.
with a man sitting in some bubbles, you know what I'm saying? It just got
Absolutely not.
glass of cognac,
If
you know what I'm
anything,
saying? And just listening to some
yeah,
Sade or something
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
and just letting the stress of the week melt away, and then
yeah,
call your girl
definitely.
in and say, "Baby, can you get my back? I can't reach it." And then next thing you know,
Right.
you just never know what can happen.
Right. There's nothing wrong with the bubble bath at all. I should bubble bath more. I don't.
Andrew,
I
you
don't.
you look. I'm a little concerned. I care about you. You're my brother. Not literally, but you're my brother. So I'm a little worried about, where you're at. It looks like you've been kidnapped. Everything
No. Fine.
I'm saying,
I am in a
so I'm
quiet
seeing the
place.
light, what I'm saying, like that. And, I'm just waiting for somebody in the
No.
back to kind of like go past and say, tell her you're fine.
No, I am literally just in the basement in my house. It's a quiet place, and I'm away, and I can do this. So
You know who you telling, because when you
this is
got
what you
kids, you
get.
got to find that quiet place, even if you got to go hide in the
Yeah,
refrigerator.
right. It was here or the closet, so I chose here. There you go.
Who you telling? Then you got one of those big, nice walk-in closets. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of parents that went in there with like a
Right.
crate of ice cream and they hide in the closet somewhere
Yeah.
to get away from their kids. Kids, first of all, kids shouldn't be watching the show because it's just y'all dark for grown folk. Whatever. If you are watching, please don't stress your parents out so bad that they hide in the closet from you. Come on now. We love y'all. We work
Yeah,
hard, don't we, Andrew?
we really do. That's we do a lot. My
Yes,
gosh, we
we
do
do.
so much.
Yes. So
So
listen,
much.
everybody. Andrew is going to entertain us a little bit because, as I said before, here on my show, Just Be You After Dark, I am here to inspire you, to entertain you, and to help you believe in the possibilities of who you are. So every guest that I have on my show, they are on a positive vibe. We don't do drama. We don't do negativity. We don't do gossip. We are here to elevate the game and uplift people and make people feel good inside. Hopefully you'll walk away with something that's going to make you think deeper about yourself and maybe help strengthen your relationships, especially since this is a Father's Day episode. A lot of us have some daddy issues, so you might want to take some time this Father's Day to kind of like think about what your daddy issues are and maybe help yourself evolve in that way. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna get our laugh on. Andrew, I cannot wait to hear what you got to say. And I know that you're going to be amazing as always. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I'd
Yeah.
like to welcome to the Just Be You After Dark stand-up comedy moment, Andrew Barrow.
Yes, what's going on? It is Andrew Barrow. That is me. You know, I know I look homeless. I'm aware of what I look like. I'm just letting you know, she told me dress to impress. I put on a collar shirt, and that's as best as we're gonna get today because being a father, ripping and running, doing all these things, running errands, doing things for these children that are constantly needing things and more things. And it's been a week. So I'm putting on my robe. I have on a collar shirt. So I'm doing my part and I have my beer because it's been a week and I need to just be here. So I'm in my basement. This is what you get. It's quiet. And yeah, this is real dad life right here. This is very real. Being a dad, sometimes we have to face things, fears. And I had to face a fear of mine like a few weeks ago, and it's still on my brain. It still haunts me because it's a real fear of mine. I'm terrified of birds. Okay, like I'm, laugh whatever. Some of y'all got something weird going on too. Okay, I'm terrified of birds. Absolutely terrified. And just last week we come home and we're kind of rushing home. Not like rushing like, oh yeah, we gotta go somewhere, but like, hey, we're rushing. So I'm here. I gotta go to the bathroom. So I run in the house and I get upstairs and I'm like, okay, I thought I had to pee. I gotta do more. So let me go ahead, pop the squat. So I pop a squat. Now, all the while, I ran in the house. I thought my wife was behind me. So the door is just wide open. And before I could even do anything, my wife's like, Andrew, there's a bird in the house. There's a what in the where in here right now? A bird? Like one with wings that flies, like that's not on TV? Like in real life right now? Okay. yo, immediately clinch up. Bah! I gotta clinch up because there's a bird in the house. We got this is a whole nother thing, right? My heart is beating so fast because I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I about to get into? So I run out. I close my son's door. I close my daughter's door. I close the bathroom door. I close our door because this thing is not gonna get anywhere else. It's not gonna go anywhere else, right? It's gonna stay in here. We're gonna get it right now in here. And I look down and we got like high ceilings. We got high ceilings. And there's a bird and it's flying everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, oh, oh. And I'm going crazy because there's a bird in the house, right? It's a real bird. It's here flying. Oh my gosh, this is not a game. There's a bird right now here. I'm terrified. My wife, she's terrified. We're both screaming, ah, oh, yelling, right? Thank God the kids are not with me, right? Because then I got to act and, kind of put on like daddy macho, like, oh, I got this. No, I don't. I don't got this right now at all. Matter of fact, this bird is about to be his house, actually, because this is too much. We should just leave. Let's leave the stuff here. We'll figure out what to do later on. I don't know, but the bird lives here now. It's his house. It belongs to him, right? And it's going everywhere. We're and sometimes it lands. It's behind the window. I'm trying to get it. I can't get it, so now I got to try to get it, and I don't want to go over there because I'm terrified of this bird. And I'm flipping it. It's flipping it. And I'm just like, I'm going crazy, right? This is crazy. So right before I'm like, look, the bird lives here. My wife's like, okay, grab a bowl. So I grab a bowl. I got a big bowl. I grab it. And she has a broom. She hits it. And we're like, oh, so she hits it down. I throw the bowl. And I'm like, okay, it's in the bowl. It can't get out. I don't know what happens next. I've never done this before. I'm terrified, right? I don't know what to do. But I know it's in this bowl, and I know it's not flying around anywhere else, right? It's not going to fly nowhere else. Okay, we're good. I'm like, okay, so what? We got to get it out of here now. She's like, okay, you got to get it out. And of course, being right, I'm the man. Let me go ahead and get it out. Sure, right. I'm dad. Yes, I'll get it out. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all, right? The bird, it's his house. I don't even know why are we here right now. We're trespassing. Like we shouldn't even be here anymore. It belongs to him. Like let's leave. This is his house. He can live under the bowl. That's where he wants to live. He got all this house to play with. When he figures out how to get out this bowl, he has house. So hey, let's go, right? I look under the bowl and the bird's not moving. And I'm like, oh. And my wife's like, what? And I'm like, did we kill the bird? Did we kill the bird? I wasn't trying to kill the bird. I didn't mean to kill it. Like, hey, I don't want to kill this bird, but you got to get out, right? You're trespassing. Like, we didn't welcome you in here. Like, you got to go, right? But I don't want to kill the bird. So I put the bird in the bowl and threw it out in the woods. It's not my problem anymore, right? It was flying, it was doing a lot, but it's not an issue anymore. There's no more bird now. I didn't want to kill the bird, no, but I mean, this bird was wrong. Look, I didn't say, hey, bird, come on in. Like, let's hang. No, you came in here on your own. Maybe you thought you was going to get something. I don't know. But guess what? You got to go. So the next day I was like, okay, let's see if he's still there. And nature took its course. Now the bird is really gone. There's no more bird, period now. I don't know what got it, but circle of life, right? Lion King taught us that early. Hakuna Matata. They say it means no worries, so I don't got no worries about the birds no more, right? Am I still terrified of birds? Absolutely, I am. But if a bird comes at me, I'm prepared. Yeah. It may die, maybe. I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to feed you off into the world because that's what happens in the circle of life. All right. Thank you very much. Andrew Barrow. My brand is Suburban Dope. I'm on YouTube. I got videos on there. They're going kind of crazy a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. I want them to go crazier. So like, comment, subscribe if you would love to. Yeah, that's that.
Oh my goodness gracious. Andrew, at first I thought you were going to say that you cooked the bird, but then you tossed the bird. Either way, shame on you. We're going to pray for you, honey child. That was somebody's son or daughter, depending on what kind of bird it was. Now, see, what
Don't
kind of
know.
Father's Day is that bird daddy having now? Dr. Max, he done damn near destroyed the bird daddy's Father's Day. What should we do about this?
I don't know what to tell you.
God, that's something that's going to hang on your head for the rest of your life. How are you going to tell the truth about this one?
I mean, I'm fine. I sleep fine, you know.
You don't feel guilty?
I don't really think about it. No, not at all.
So you only afraid of the bird if it's alive, but if it's fried or baked or grilled, you cool.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm eating it, so we're good.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of bird?
What kind of bird was it? I don't know. It was a small green one. I have no idea, but it was small and it was flying and it was in my face and it was terrifying.
It was terrifying. It was a baby.
If you gotta go, you gotta go. Right? If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, you know what? In honor of Father's Day, we're gonna take a quick moment of silence for the father bird who unfortunately lost his baby bird due to the incident that was held at the home of Andrew Barrow, who we will not hold too legally responsible for said incident because technically it's his house, so birds don't belong in his house. They learn outside. We're gonna have a moment of silence. Let's do a moment of silence. Oh, okay, Father Bird, I hope you be okay. You know, this is what you do, Father Bird. You going out there in the woods and you find yourself a cute little, mama bird. And, you just try to make you some more baby birds. Now, if she's, not interested in having any kids, you can always be a foster bird.
A foster bird.
All right, everybody, if you are just tuning in and you're wondering what in the hell is these people talking about, this is a Father's Day episode of Just For You After Dark, and I'm your host, Mahogany Reynolds, and I'm here with some of my funny friends, Dr. Max and Andrew Barrow. We have been just laughing with one another because we're trying to just bring some joy and some positivity. It is just so much drama in the world going on right now. It's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up in the fall. People are stressed out about that. You can't afford to buy a loaf of bread, a box of cereal, and a carton of milk unless you got at least $25 on you, because that's about how much that joint gonna cost. And we just want to do this episode pay tribute to dads. So Dr. Max and I, we're gonna take some turns and we're gonna ask Andrew some funny questions so that we can get to know him a little bit more, and also probably get some tips and advice for some dads. So Dr. Max, you go first. You ask Andrew some questions, and Andrew, you say the first thing that come to your mind. Don't second guess yourself, child.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Ready for me?
Yes. Go ahead.
What's the fondest memory you have of your dad growing up?
Oh man, that's easy. Fondest memory, probably. And I think now it's probably on my mind more because like I'm older and like I'm understanding what it is now. But me and my dad used to play golf a lot, all the time. So he would take me out on the course with him, and like you get to walk around on the course, and you get to dress up kind of nice and go do this thing. And when I was younger, I never thought of it as boring either, because like he would let me drive the cart, and like I'm 10 and my brother, he's 7. Like, we're not supposed to drive the cart, but here we are driving this cart on the golf course. And so now looking back at it, it's like, excuse me, it's like, oh, my dad was kind of cool because, like, he's breaking the rules. We're not supposed to drive this thing. He's like, hey, you want to ride the cart? It's like, yeah, I do actually want to drive the cart. Yeah.
It's like can't.
Right. So definitely the fondest memory would be that. For sure. Now thinking about it, yeah. And then understanding what golf is, like realizing what he was doing while we were out on that course, it's like, all right, that's cool. So that's the fondest memory.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think that being a dad is harder nowadays?
It's harder nowadays because people don't want to be parents. People want to have children, but they don't want to be a parent.
Tell it,
That
preach,
is
tell
literally
it,
why.
tell it.
That's literally why that's happening. And I work. My wife owns a daycare, right? She owns two of them actually, right? And so I work at the daycare. So I'm around children all day, and I interact with these parents all day. And what I gather in these last 2-3 years of being at the daycare is nobody wants to be a parent. They want children, but then they don't want to parent the child. So their child is terrible, and they're like, I don't know what's wrong with them. It's like, you're not being a parent. That's what's wrong with them. You're not disciplining them. You're not reprimanding them for anything. You're not teaching them anything. You're not treating them like a human. You're talking to them like a dog, or you're talking to them like they're a little child, when you should be talking to them like a person that's going to be an adult one day, because that's what happens. And I don't think people realize that now when they have children. So that's what's wrong with parents now, is they're like, oh, this becomes an adult. Oh, I have to like raise this and like help it be a good person in life. How do you? But I'm not a good person, so I don't know how to like tell somebody else how to do that. Right. That's what's happening. That's what's wrong. That's definitely what's wrong. For sure.
So that's how it's harder nowadays, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely why it's harder, because people don't want to be parents. But everybody wants to have a kid. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I would love a kid. Yeah, but guess what? You have the child and then you have to raise the child. That's what you have to do.
Why they gotta do that for? That's what your daycare centers for. They don't need to do that.
Exactly.
Just take your kids.
Exactly.
Look, take all your kids. Take all your kids.
That's the problem
Andrew's
right there.
wife's daycare center, and she gonna cook for
I don't
them,
want to raise
and
your
she gonna
kids.
teach
That's
them
the
they
problem.
ABCs and they 1, 2, 3.
No.
And she gonna get them out for their nap, and then she gonna wake them back up.
I can do those things.
Playtime to do the puzzles and play and everything like that.
Doing.
And then you come pick them
that's
up.
What's happening.
All you gotta do is take them home and put them to bed. And then when they wake up in the morning, we go right back there to that daycare center.
Exactly. That's what people are doing. That's what they're doing. They're spending no time with their kid at all, and they're just bringing them to daycare. And they're like, the daycare will take care of all of that for me. And then they're like, oh, I don't know why my kid is so crazy. I don't know why it doesn't listen. Because you still have to do all those things at home. It can't just be at daycare.
So are you like daddy to all these kids?
It feels that way. Yeah. It feels that way.
Okay.
Because I see these dads. I talk to them, and it's like, well, why'd you have a kid? You don't even know what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing at all. And that's not to say like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm the best at this. No, I have no idea what I'm doing every single day. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. I'm doing something. You're doing nothing, and you're calling it something. That doesn't work. It just doesn't.
You know what?
It doesn't work.
we're having fun, and a lot of what you're saying, some of it, we're having fun, and a lot of what you're saying is really true, and some of it is for fun, and we just want to acknowledge that there are some dads, you, for example, my husband, for
right.
example, you guys are killing the game. You guys are holding it down.
We do our
You
thing.
guys are working. You guys are being supportive of your spouses. You guys are present for your kids, and you guys remember their first name, and you remember their middle name, and you know their favorite color and their favorite food, and you can cook, and you don't mind doing a little cleaning. And you guys, let's clap for them. Let's clap for those daddies that be doing it. If you are watching this episode of Just Be You After Dark and you know it's some good daddies, I want to see you clap. Put the clap in the chat. Put your daddy's name. Put your granddaddy's name, your great granddaddy's name, your great granddaddy's name. You better put your uncle's name. If you don't have a father in your life right now, my heart goes out to you because I know what that feels like. My father, God rest his soul, he is in heaven looking down on me like a guardian angel. And so I know what it's like not to have your daddy with you anymore. So my heart goes out to you. Let's show some love and support to those who lost their dads, whose dads may not be doing well, who might be struggling in their health right now. I know a close friend of mine, her father, I'm always praying for her. And so let's just show love to the dads because I mean, look, Andrew's funny and he cracking some good jokes, but at the same time, there are a lot of dads who, for whatever reason, we don't know the reason why, right? We don't know their story. They just are not present for whatever reason, and maybe physically they are, but emotionally and mentally they're not. So we just gonna help them in some kind of way, like if you struggling with that daddy thing, take them over to Andrew. There you go. Take them over to Andrew. They got room. They got 2 daycare centers. If you struggling with that daddy thing and you bring your house coat and Andrew got his house coat and then y'all sit down together and you drink a beer. You don't drink beer, that's fine. Bring a seltzer. And it sounds the same when you crack it open. It sounds like a beer, You can pretend and y'all talk and y'all figure this thing out, right, Andrew? You want to comment, come on, Andrew, help the brothers out now.
I can help, but I can't help people that don't want to necessarily change, if you will.
So Big Daddy Andrew. That's your nickname now, Big Daddy Andrew. What's some advice that you'd give a single dad raising a kid?
Oh, single dads. Yes, all the single dads. Yeah. Tell them, Andrew. Give them some advice, man.
Salute to them. I know some single dads, and I to anybody, like, I guess, new single dads, breathe. It will be okay. It may seem like it's just overkill, or you're like in the water and it's about to cover your head. Just breathe.
Wow.
Period.
That's pretty deep, Andrew.
That is deep because breathing, people, so you breathing right now, right? Otherwise you'd be not alive. Right. So you need your breath. Right. But a lot of people, this is about to be real special, but a lot of people don't realize that the beginning of everything started with the breath.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It started with the breath. So, I mean, life is breathing. You need that. And just breathing kind of like helps cleanse your mind, put some fresh oxygen in your brain. It helps relax your muscles. Because kids, we love them, Andrew. We love our kids. We love our kids, right, Dr. Max? But they can be a lot. And so we gotta sometimes, I know myself, I had to go sit down and breathe. And I might be breathing for the next 2 days. And they're looking for me. And they're like, what's for dinner? Mama breathing, leave it alone. Mama's still breathing. That's some deep advice right there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can read a book and Go to the
Just gotta
blogs
breathe.
and all of that stuff like that, but just kind of like centering
Yeah,
yourself,
just
right, Andrew?
yeah, just you just gotta breathe. Like, especially like a single dad, it probably feels even more crazy. So it's like, man, you don't need to know it all. Not everybody knows it all. And
Yes,
you're doing a good job. So just
yes,
breathe. Just
yes.
breathe, man. Just breathe.
Awesome, awesome.
Lamaze for single dads, right?
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
they need it.
So my last question to you is, what's some advice you give a married dad raising kids?
Ooh.
A married dad raising kids.
Listen to
Breathe
the mama.
again. And
Say it.
also,
Listen to your mama.
well,
Say it, Andrew.
listen,
I'm taking over your
listen.
question. Listen to your mama.
No, well, just listen, period. That's it. You have to listen. It's something that I still have trouble with myself.
Mm.
You have got to listen. You have to. Whether it be from your wife or from your kids, you gotta listen. You have to just listen. Listen and breathe.
Listen and breathe. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. You've gotta listen.
Fantastic.
Listening will save your life. For real,
If
for real.
listen, hey, listen, husbands, listening will save your marriage. Listening will save your
It
sex
will
life.
save everything.
Listening will save your
It'll save
checkbook.
it all.
Listening will save
It'll
your
save it
household.
all.
Yes, it will.
Just listen.
And people have a
Just
hard time listening,
listen.
don't they? They do.
Mm.
Well, people
And
don't
what
know how to be
they have a
quiet.
hard
People don't
time
want to shut up.
actively listening, right?
Yeah, they don't know. People don't know how to do it, and it's hard to do because I'm still learning it every day. It's hard, but also people want to be heard. They
Yeah.
don't want to listen to what you're saying, and they don't care if you're listening to what they're saying. They just want to be heard. That's the
Yes.
problem. You just gotta listen.
Isn't
You gotta
it
learn how to
interesting?
listen
It's
both
interesting
ways. It goes
because
both ways.
yeah, it's interesting because you said that people want to be heard, but there's so much noise in the world, right? Like there's so much
Yeah,
noise on social media. This television never
yeah,
stops now. It's not like it was in the 70s where you get the the
Commercial.
thing that and the
yeah.
show TV's over for the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. So it's so much
Right,
noise. But the funny thing is, it's so much noise, but ain't nobody saying nothing. And then there are
right,
those who are saying something that's worthwhile, but it's so noisy. It's hard to get that real voice, that positive voice, that helpful voice through all of that
right,
noise. And so I
right.
love having these conversations with my guests because I try to have like diversity on my show. It gives such a
Hmm.
different perspective to things. And I'm
Mhm.
just really enjoying this conversation. So, this show is in season 5 and it has grown and it has changed so much um, over the past couple of years when I started it in 2020. And I actually started Just You After Dark before the pandemic. So I'm just really excited and grateful to everyone who's been watching. I know I don't, have as many episodes on as I used to, but that's going to change very, very soon. So I love you for watching. Celebrating dads, whether you call him daddy, papa, papi, padre, whatever you call your father, we are celebrating fathers because we appreciate you, the ones who are committed, who are dedicated, who are there, who are doing the best you can. We really want you to know how much we celebrate you. I'm wearing beautiful color blue in honor of Father's Day weekend. So if you're watching this from anywhere in the world, will you please put in the comments that you're doing a good job as a father. Like give yourself some credit. You know what I mean? No matter where you are in the world, you're watching this episode of Just Be You After Dark. Just compliment yourself. Say good dad to yourself. You know what I mean? But sometimes as parents, a lot of times we don't hear appreciation from others. And sometimes we feel like, wow, am I doing a good job? Am I messing up my kids? Am I making too many mistakes? And, it's just how it is sometimes. So it's important for you to love on yourself. It's important for you to acknowledge yourself because your self-worth comes from what? You. That's where that comes from. So dads, you work hard, you come home, and sometimes ain't nobody saying, hey, daddy, we missed you. And you might be like, oh, love on yourself. Because sometimes it be like that. So I encourage you to just be good to yourself and take good care of yourself because we need our dads. We need you guys to be healthy and strong and take good care of your bodies and your spirit and everything like that. So I'm looking at everybody that's in the chat. So if my eyes are wandering when I'm on this show, just don't pay me no mind. I'm just looking at the chats and just so excited and so happy about everybody that's in the virtual lounge with me here at Just Be You After Dark. So I want to welcome back my special guests, Dr. Max and Andrew Barrow. And we're going to just wrap up this last segment of the show. And so, Andrew, I want to ask you some questions, honey, and you know me. So you just better be ready because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get all up in your business. And it's going to be all up in your business. And you're just going to have to deal with it because we know each other. Okay, so I might get a little bit personal, and I want you to be honest. Okay, listen.
All right.
If you could tell your dad one thing that you didn't say to him when you were growing up, what would you say to your dad?
What would I say to him? Wow. What would I say to him? I'd probably say to him, why didn't you tell me this was so hard?
Mm.
You made it seem so easy. Why did you tell me this was hard?
Wow.
That's what I would say.
Wow. That's true. Even as parents, right? All of us are parents for those of you who are watching. And sometimes you don't want to tell your kids all of the difficulty of being a parent. We don't want to traumatize our kids. My son hears me complaining all the time about how expensive things have gotten and things of that nature. But I'm not getting ready to go into a super long detail and make a spreadsheet and show him how much milk cost in 1975 compared to now. I'm not going to stress him out like that. But you do want to give your kids a sense of awareness, right, Dr. Max?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was mother and dad to my son, and trust me, he knew things were tight. Yeah. We weren't going out to eat every night. So he knows to cook.
Right. And now going to the grocery store, you might as well go out to eat. It's the same price. So what's the difference? Andrew,
right.
Do you know why Father's Day? This isn't a trivia question. This is just you telling me your own personal opinion. Why is Father's Day in June instead of like during football season? Because I know y'all daddies love y'all some football.
They probably did that so we're not distracted because football is distraction. That's all it is. It's distraction. So if it's not during football season, maybe we'll actually pay attention.
Pay attention to your gifts and pay attention to your family when they celebrate you instead of telling everybody, get out of the way, you blocking the TV.
Right. Or just on your phone, just checking. I'm checking scores. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. I'm seeing what this is going on with my fantasy. Like, nah, I don't know. That's why they didn't do that. Too much distractions during football season. Way too many.
Yeah. I mean,
way too many.
I love dads. And my dad, God rest his soul. And my husband, great dad, but easily distracted. I don't know why y'all men are so easily distracted. It's like
I don't know.
Y'all just zone out. You're trying to have a conversation, and then you're like, "Did you hear what I said?" And they're like, "Huh? What?" Then I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I gotta say that all over again? Like, I don't even feel like hearing myself say that again. I don't even remember what the hell I said in the first place, and now I gotta start all over again." Y'all be zoning out. Y'all, didn't you tell us and listen?
Yes.
That is very funny. Yeah.
Y'all a trip. All right, my last question to you, Andrew.
Yep.
And you be honest, but you also be, compassionate. What's the hardest part about being a dad?
Breathe. Breathe. Come on.
Oh my goodness. The hardest part about being a dad. Oh man. It's probably not the hardest part about being a dad is not showing how you truly feel all the time. That's the hardest part. Because I don't want my kids to see how I feel when things are hard, or like when it's like, when we're in the mix in the morning and things are just maybe something's just not going right, and this is doing this and this one's not doing this and this one's not doing this, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But I don't want to show them that. I don't want them to feel that, because they're children. I don't want them to be like, oh my gosh, now I need to help you and make you feel. No, I don't want you to do that at all, because that's my job for you. But it's hard to do that,
Yeah.
because it's like you want to go crazy, or you want to like show how you really feel, but you don't want to do that either, because they're children. You don't want to crush them and you don't want to crush their like how they look at the world, and you don't want to do that to them either. But also, you're their parent, so you're gonna have to like teach them that, and you're gonna have to talk to them about like what these things are in life, and like, oh, when a friend does this, or oh, it makes you feel like this, you gotta still do that, but you don't want to give it all to them at once, because I also don't want you to be like, oh, great, well, now that's that.
Right.
I don't want to do that either. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, great. When I was doing this is how you truly felt about this. So it's like, oh, well, now I'm terrible. Now you don't. Now you think this of me, and it's like, no, I don't want that either. So it's just the balance of being a parent is literally balance, and it is hard to balance it out every day, and it's hard because we're parents and we're still learning it every day. It's just hard, but you don't want to tell them that. You can't tell them straight up like, yo, you're annoying me. This is bothering me. I had a long day. Like, I don't want to talk to nobody. Actually, I don't even want to feed you. I want to go upstairs. I want to go to bed. Like, that's what I want to
Yes.
do. But you can't do that, because you can't make them feel like crap. You can't make your kids feel like, oh my gosh, like, well, now this is my fault and this is how they feel. Like, no, you don't want to do that.
Right, right. Like, I'm hungry. I'm a bad kid because I need something
Right,
to eat. Right, right, right. I think
right.
a lot of
And it's
times,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
I hear
because
you. I mean,
kids,
oh, go ahead.
right? Because that's the thing about kids. Kids are sensitive.
Mm.
Like, they're so much more sensitive than we think. And kids feel like they feel empathy and all of that more than we do, because we're adults and we're living life and we deal with things and we go through things and all that. But kids, they're just dealing with their everyday, but their everyday is being a kid. Like, they're not an adult. They don't have a job. They don't have to pay bills. Like, they don't gotta figure out, they don't have to think about like, oh, what are we gonna eat for dinner? Like, oh, we gotta do this when we get home. We gotta do this. No, they're a kid. All you gotta do is just make sure you put your book bag away and put your shoes in your room when you get home. Like, you just gotta think about those type of things. You don't have to think about all that other stuff. So when something like, when you tell a kid like, oh my gosh, like, you're making me feel terrible, or well, I feel terrible about this, they really feel that,
Yeah.
because they're a kid. They
Mm-hmm.
really feel
They
it.
take
So you
everything
don't.
literally.
They take everything. Everything is so, like, my son, my older son. When my 2-year-old, he might as well just be 25 years old. But that's another question. That's another day for a whole nother thing. But my one son, like, and he's 8 going on 9. He takes everything so literal. Everything is so personal. Everything is so serious, and it's just like, yo, like it doesn't have to be that. Like it's okay. Like it's all right, like it could be something like, oh, like I like he left his homework folder home, this day, and oh, I need my homework. Oh, I'm not gonna get my homework. Oh, now it's gonna be wrong. Now everybody's gonna know I didn't turn in my homework. Now this is bad. And now it's like, bro, whoa, just calm down. Let me just tell your
Oh,
teacher
don't
that,
tell the kids to calm
right,
down.
right. I don't like,
When
let me
you
just
tell
tell
them
the
to calm
teacher,
down, they seem like
they
they
get
just
even
get
more
even more
crazy.
upset.
Right. They get even more
I've been trying to figure
crazy.
out what something else to say other than
Right.
calm down. I've been trying to say like something like breathe, right? Or
Breathe.
take
We're
a
going to
beat,
breathe.
or
Look, breathe.
relax, or
Hey,
like you were saying, it's
let's
gonna
take
be
a,
okay. But seem like when
right.
you say that calm
Let's
down,
take a step back. Let's take a step back. It's just
I know.
everything is just so serious. It's so everything. And it's like I gotta watch how I speak to him. Because it's like I don't want, like, if I'm having a bad day, I don't want to be like, man, I was having a bad day today. And he's gonna be like, oh, well, you had a bad day. Well, now you feel terrible. I don't even want to tell you about my day, and I had a bad day, and I feel like this, and I feel like this, and it's like, no, bro, like, no, like, you just have to, you gotta. It's all about your words. Words matter. I'm learning that more and more every day, and I'm 36 years old. I may not look like it, but I am. It's words matter. They matter, and they mean something, and you gotta watch how you say them to everybody. It doesn't matter who it is, adult or child or baby. Like,
Are you
you got to
really?
watch how you do it.
Are you really a comedian? Because if you got to worry about all your words, we're all in trouble.
Well, when it comes to that, no, that for me, that's different. You still have to worry about your words there, but it's different. I'm worried about my words of how I'm saying this and how it's coming off. But if you take it how you take it, that's how you take it. That's, at the end of the day, that's my words. That's what I said. I
Right,
said what I
right.
said. I still said what I said. I still stand on what I say, but I'm gonna watch and say it in a way for you to understand it. And if you take it however you take it, then that's on you. But I put it out there. But those are my
Yes,
words. I'm not gonna apologize for it. No, I'll
yes.
apologize. I'm sorry you feel that way, but those are my words. That's how I feel. Like, no.
Well, let's tell our viewers who are watching this episode of Just Be You After Dark, our Father's Day celebration, our Father's Day episode. We're gonna take turns, and we're just gonna say something positive to the dads. It could be to your own dad. It could be just to dads in general. We're gonna start with Andrew. Andrew, what you want to say to the dads to just celebrate them and let them know that they are really, really just doing it, and we appreciate them on Father's Day.
Um, what you do behind closed doors does get seen. Don't think it doesn't get seen. It gets seen. You're doing a good job.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Dr. Max, what we gonna say to the dads?
Oh, I think that dads are so important. I have to say, I grew up without a dad, and I know how important they are, as a role model for their kids, especially their sons. And just keep putting yourself out, even if you question it. Just keep on going with it. And I also want to tell you that if you want to look me up on social media. I'm Dr. Max Sheppard on Instagram and Max Sheppard on Facebook. So look me up, and hope I hear from you.
Oh, I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys. You guys
very
are
cool.
awesome. So, I remember I was telling you that we're going to be doing a little bit more for this episode. So, I'm going to talk to you guys about that when we wrap the show. But in the meantime, I at least wanted to say, Dr. Max, you look beautiful. Thank you for being on this show. You have been on the
Mm-hmm.
show many times before, and I always enjoy having you here. So, thank you so much. Virtual kiss to you. And thank you for
Mm-hmm.
being here. Andrew, I love your house coat. You got your beer or seltzer or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
You is in dad mode. You is in the
I
dad
am.
game, literally.
I am.
I just love it. Hey, look,
I
why
am.
would I name the show? But I name it if you can't be it, right?
Right.
Just be you after dark. with me,
Yeah.
Mahogany Reynolds, right? So you come as you are, right? You get to be yourself on my show. This show is unscripted. We planned a few of the questions, but we just conversate. I don't have anybody writing my lines for me. There's not a plethora of camera guys surrounding me. I set this stuff up by myself. Thank you very much for my family's help. This is like real grassroots right here, okay? And even when my show grows, and if I grow to a point where I'm on a big stage or a studio somewhere in California or whatever, I'm still going to be myself. I'm still going to stay true to myself. And Andrew Barrow, I appreciate you. We have been knowing each other for a very long time. And, you know, in the entertainment industry, that's rare because there's a lot of cattiness and a lot of drama in the entertainment industry. And a lot of times, you know, you don't have those friendships and those relationships. And I admire you as a dad. And I appreciate you as a dad. And I've met your baby boy, and he's just precious. So happy Father's Day to you, Andrew. And I want to say to all the dads who are watching, happy Father's Day to you. We appreciate you, and we hope that you would take the time to love on yourself, whatever that looks like for you, and that you know that the thing that you're doing is not being unnoticed. And we love and appreciate all of your contributions. And, you know, if you're a dad and you're struggling and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you know, like I said, you got that daycare right there. You drop them kids off. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dr. Mash, she's a doctor. You get in contact with her. She might be able to give you some advice. I'm in the process of becoming a life coach. So, you know, you can get in contact with me. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Mahogany Reynolds, all day, every day, everywhere. All right. And then I might be able to give you some advice. But I mean, no, seriously, if you're struggling as a dad and you just, you know, you can't figure this thing out and you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, I would encourage you to reach out to somebody that you respect and admire, right, Andrew? Like a role model daddy that you respect and admire, right? And then just try to have like that man-to-man conversation with somebody. It could be an uncle, it could be your pastor at your church, it could be, you know, somebody that you respect, you know, that can give you some advice. But don't try to figure this out by yourself, especially if you're a single dad. You know, you don't have to figure everything out by yourself, right, guys?
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, you know what? It is time for us to get our little what you know, nighttime little nightcap on, and you know, put our little slippers on and take off all of these clothes and just, well, not in front of the camera. It's not that kind of show, but but just enjoy Father's Day weekend. And, you know, I just really appreciate you guys for being here tonight. And when you sign off, I just want you to say goodbye to everybody, and I will talk to you guys again soon. So say goodbye to everybody, Dr. Max.
Bye, everyone. Have a great Father's Day.
See you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
Dr.
you very
Max.
much.
Andrew, say goodbye to everybody, and thank you for being here.
Yes, see you. I appreciate you guys. Andrew Barrow. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Bless you, Andrew. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, good night. Good morning.
Good
Whatever.
night.
I don't know what time it is now.
Good night.
Well, everybody, that was our episode for Father's Day, and I hope that you enjoyed it. We had such a wonderful time talking with some of my close comedian friends, Dr. Max and Andrew Barrow, and I'm looking in the chat, and I'm just like, I got a couple of different things going on behind the camera, and so I just really appreciate everybody for watching this special episode of Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds, Miss Just Be You, the one and the only. I appreciate you. And for all the dads, I wish that you would have a beautiful, a blessed, a happy, a safe, a fun, and a lovable Father's Day weekend. And I cannot wait to see you guys again. Please hit that like button. Please thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the notification. We're going to do a lot of well, you know, I'm going to leave that alone. But just, you know, hit it, okay? Thank you. So that you can be aware of the next time I'm going to do an episode of the show, which is going to be coming soon. I'm going to do something special in the summertime, honey. So I just want you guys to know that I created this show, Just Be You After Dark, to be a positive place, a place of inspiration, entertainment, and also just, some good energy, because we need more of that. So thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you again soon. In the meantime, I want you to remember my trademark mantra: be blessed and just be you.